Hare Krishna, devotees, welcome to Shloka Day. Today's Shloka, Shloka number 52 of chapter 11. Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Tudurdarsham idam rupam
Sudurdarsham midam rupam
Drishtavan asiyan mama
Drishtavanasi mama
Deva apyasya rupasya
Deva apyasya rupasya
Nityam darshanakankshinaha.
Nityam darshanakankshinaha.
Forward meaning translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Shri Bhagavanu Vacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
Sudurdarsham,
Sudurdarsham,
very difficult to see,
very difficult to see.
Idam,
Idam,
this,
Rupam,
form,
form,
Drishtavan asi,
Drishtavan asi,
as you have seen,
as you have seen,
Yat, which,
Mama,
of mine,
Devaha,
the demigods,
the demigods,
Api,
also,
Asya,
this,
Rupasya, form, Nityam, eternally, Darshana
Kankshinaha,
aspiring to see. Translation: The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
My dear Arjuna,
this
form of mine you are now seeing
is
very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear. So Prabhupada writes here in the purport, in the 48th verse of this chapter, Lord Krishna concluded revealing his universal form and informed Arjuna that this form is not possible to be seen by so many pious activities, sacrifices, etc. Now here the word Sudurdarsham is used, indicating that Krishna's two-handed form is still more confidential. One may be able to see the universal form of Krishna by adding a little tinge of devotional service to various activities like penances, Vedic study, and philosophical speculation. It may be possible, but without a tinge of bhakti one cannot see. That has already been explained. Still beyond that universal form, the form of Krishna with two hands is still more difficult to see, even for demigods like Brahma and Lord Shiva. They desire to see him, and we have evidence in the Srimad Bhagavatam that when he was supposed to be in the womb of his mother Devaki, all the demigods from heaven came to see the marvel of Krishna, and they offered nice prayers to the Lord, although he was not at that time visible to them. They waited to see him. A foolish person may deride him, thinking him an ordinary person, and may offer respect not to him, but to the impersonal something within him. But these are all nonsensical postures. Krishna in his two-armed form is actually desired to be seen by demigods like Brahma and Shiva. In Bhagavad Gita 9.11, it is also confirmed, Avajananti ma mudha manushim tanumashritam. He is not visible to the foolish persons who deride him. Krishna's body, as confirmed by Brahma Samhita and confirmed by Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita, is completely spiritual and full of bliss and eternality. His body is never like a material body. But for some who make a study of Krishna by reading Bhagavad Gita or similar Vedic scriptures, Krishna is a problem. For one using a material process, Krishna is considered to be a great historical personality and very learned philosopher. But he is an ordinary man. And even though he was so powerful, he had to accept a material body. Ultimately, they think that the absolute truth is impersonal. Therefore, they think that from his impersonal feature, he assumed a personal feature attached to material nature. This is a materialistic calculation of the Supreme Lord. Another calculation is speculative. Those who are in search of knowledge, who speculate on Krishna and consider him to be less important than a universal form of the Supreme. Thus, some think that the universal form of Krishna, which was manifested to Arjuna, is more important than his personal form. According to them, the personal form of the Supreme is something imaginary. They believe that in the ultimate issue, the absolute truth is not a person. But the transcendental process is described in Bhagavad Gita chapter 4. To hear about Krishna from authorities, that is the actual Vedic process. And those who are actually in the Vedic line hear about Krishna from authority, and by repeated hearing about him, Krishna becomes dear. As we have several times discussed, Krishna is covered by his Yogamaya potency. He is not to be seen or revealed to anyone and everyone. Only by one to whom he reveals himself can he be seen. This is confirmed in the Vedic literature. For one who is a surrendered soul, the absolute truth can actually be understood. The transcendentalist, by continuous Krishna consciousness and with devotional service to Krishna, can have his spiritual eyes opened and can see Krishna by revelation. Such a revelation is not possible even for the demigods. Therefore, it is difficult even for the demigods to understand Krishna. And the advanced demigods are always in hope of seeing Krishna in his two-handed form. The conclusion is that although to see the universal form of Krishna is very, very difficult and not possible for anyone and everyone, it is still more difficult to understand his personal form as Shyamasundara. So Prabhupada is explaining in this detailed purport, there are certain Vaishnava paramparas, like the Sri Vaishnava parampara, that believes that Lord Vishnu is the topmost and that Lord Krishna is an avatar of Lord Vishnu. But if you read this shloka carefully, what the Lord is saying is, this form, this two-handed form, is actually very, very rare. So rare that even the demigods are hankering to see this two-handed form of Krishna. And then Prabhupada is contrasting the materialistic people who reject Krishna, who think he's just an extraordinary personality, but definitely he is not God. And then Prabhupada also criticizes those who speculate who could be God. So some think that the universal form must be God because he's all pervading, he's omniscient, he's omnipotent, etc. But actually it is Krishna who is the Supreme Lord. So sometimes our minds get conflicted about what our idea of God should be. We think God means someone, so majestic that even their form has to be so majestic that nobody can deny that this is God. So definitely the universal form is a majestic depiction of the Supreme Lord's material energies all in one place. So some of us cannot comprehend the idea of God being a simple cowherd boy in his two-handed form with the flute tucked in his waist and sometimes playing on the flute and the peacock feather on his head. So sometimes we're influenced by our own imagination of what God should be like. So this is speculation. But the bhaktas, Krishna says, through devotional service, get to realize Krishna. Of course, Krishna himself has said this repeatedly in the Bhagavad Gita, that it is only through devotional service that he can be seen as he is in his original two-handed form as Shyamasundara.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.